because what's going on in college basketball is even crazier than what's going on in college football. And I have a big issue with it because when you look at a team like Gonzaga, they're a ranked team right now. They've been a powerhouse team for decades. They have players on their team that have played professionally in Spain. They have players that are in their 8th year of playing college sports, whether it's been JUCO, whether it's been transfers. They have players who are 5th-year players, 6th-year players. It is out of control that you can have players that are 25 years old still playing college basketball. I don't think it's right, and I think something needs to be done. And we had John Calipari on the show, a few months ago talking about this exact thing, where it's just, when does it stop? Are you going to have 30-year-olds still playing college basketball because NIL is a thing and they still have 1 year of eligibility left? Is that what we're doing? Is it just going to be eligibility is what's most important? Or are we going to say, hey, you have to play a certain number of years in a certain number of years? So do you have to play 4 and 5? Do you have to play 3 and 5? Do you have to play 3 and 4? Something just needs to change. And I guess I can unmute his microphone and see what he has to say.
Hello? Are you there? I think you should just finish the show because I could go. You're doing great. Calipari talked about this, and he's got a much greater view of this than you and I do, obviously. But it seems like you're parroting Calipari, which you should. He's a friend, and you should. But I have no issue with it. A lot of the numbers this year are off because of COVID still, but we're getting to the end of that where people got to double dip with COVID. But what's the difference now? College players are professional players anyway. They're all getting paid. I have no issue at all with a 30-year-old college player because it's sort of like a minor league team. It's sort of like a development team, a G League team right now for the NBA. What's the difference? You're basically taking spots away from what? The 5'5" white guys on the end of the bench who never get in the game? Seriously, what are we talking about? I have no problem with it at all. I think we should change it. I don't think eligibility should matter in college. I don't think you should even have to go to the college. And listen, you speak to enough college athletes. I don't want to talk about the fact that people write their papers for them, go to class for them. They take classes where you get an easy A for not showing up, and they're trying to game the system to see if they can graduate. Give me a break. Let's not even pretend anymore. Just sign up. It's just another team. You got 150 more teams.
You have players that are in the G League who have played in the G League, developmental professional sports leagues, now going back and playing in college basketball.
I just getting paid more.
But I just don't think the spirit of the sport, is college. Right? Is you should
not.
have you should. It's not anymore. We've changed it into something that it isn't anymore, and it's not just happening. At the basketball level, right? It's happening all across other levels and other sports as well, where it's just like none of it makes sense, and it doesn't. It seems like it's one of those things that everybody is screaming about, but there's nothing there. There's no one there. There is no committee. There is no board who is fixing anything, right? Isn't that supposed to be the NCAA's responsibility?
Well, you do have a board.
The NCAA just doesn't. It's like they're just absent from this whole thing. Their words don't matter because then they just get tied up in lawsuits, and you get these. All these players just get these temporary restraining orders. Against their schools, against the NCAA, and whatever they say is just not enforceable, and it just gets pushed another year. Right, it just gets pushed down the line.
They definitely don't get temporary restraining orders, but I love when you use legal terms. I love that.
They
do get injunctions.
Okay.
Temporary injunctions. But listen,
temporary injunction. Okay.
I'd like you to argue why, given that you love NIL and everybody does, everyone wants college players to get paid. What's the difference? How old you are? It's no longer college is just different. It's not what it was. You've acknowledged that. Given all of that, what is your argument for not having anyone able to play on a college team?
Because it's a competitive advantage to have a 25-year-old playing basketball against an 18-year-old.
Why can't everyone have 25-year-olds?
Because there aren't that many good 25-year-olds that aren't in the NBA who still have some sort of eligibility. Like we saw it last year with Auburn's team, right? where Auburn made it all the way to the national championship or the Final Four. I believe it was the Final Four. And they were essentially older than the Oklahoma City Thunder. And the Oklahoma City Thunder ended up winning the championship. But now you have a Gonzaga team that basically is older than the Oklahoma City Thunder team is. And it's just the difference in the development, the difference in, your physical attributes, the human body itself. 18-year-olds and 19-year-olds should not be, as a whole, playing against 25-year-olds. It just shouldn't happen. And listen, I'm all for players getting paid. I'm not saying that players. Yeah, I'm not saying players shouldn't be paid. I want everybody to get paid. I'm just saying that there needs to be a cutoff, right? There needs to be some sort of age where it's like, hey, you weren't good enough when you were 18, 19, 20, 21, 22 years old. Now it's time to go on. And if you have to go professional in something other than sports, then do it. But, having these players come down and play at the college level or still playing in the college level, it's not right.